backdoor, finding McCraven, pass a little high for him. McCraven had a reset, puts it up off the glass, good.
Out to Hallie Crockett, her second baseball pass up the floor to Abby Richmond. Right-handed layup for 2.
Still backing and backing, gets stalled again. And picks up 2 points. So 2-point takedown.
The puck tries to reverse along the boards, taken away by Parker. Found another goal! Parker tees up Brody Schultz!
Little right-handed dribble, goes to Reichel, deep three-pointer on the way! That's good.
Up the floor, Severson over to Bevins, all alone, steps up, shoots the 3, and it's good.
Alston Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on YourLiveEvent.com.
Hello and welcome into Cass Lake as we have the Fosston Greyhounds taking on the Cass Lake-Bena Panthers in a feature in game number 1 of 2. It's a doubleheader here tonight. Starting off is going to be the boys, followed by the girls matchup between the Greyhounds and the Panthers. Let's get you all set to go here for tonight's contest right here on YourLiveEvent.com as well as on KKCQ 96.7 FM, keeping you all up to date here with all of the action here tonight, whether it be on your screen or on your radio dial. We'll have you covered here this evening tonight as the Greyhounds and Panthers battle twice here this evening as well. I'm your play-by-play voice, Mac Robinson. Let's start on the side with the Greyhounds. And Greyhounds tonight, they are currently coming into tonight at 19-4. And tonight they are going to be going up against the Cass Lake-Bena Panthers. Greyhounds here tonight, they are coming into tonight 19-4, coming off a championship win, a Pine to Prairie Conference championship win against Ada Borup West on Saturday right here on YourLiveEvent.com. You can go back and watch that following the game here tonight as well. That final 66-49 against Ada Borup West. Ada Borup West ended up falling to the Cass Lake-Bena Panthers just a few games ago. That game at 60-58, so a close contest between these two. We'll see how the Greyhounds fare against Cass Lake-Bena Panthers as the Panthers coming into tonight sitting at 23-1 on the season. They have won 12 straight. That's right, 12 straight coming into tonight. Their last win coming against Nevis on the road, 98-83. One of the highest scoring teams in the state of Minnesota, led by head coach John Wind. On the other side, the Greyhounds led by head coach Ben Hemberger. When we come back, we're going to hear from head coach Ben Hemberger of the Greyhounds right here on the Solely Realty pregame show right here on KKCQ 96.7 FM, as well as locally, or as well as on your computer screen at YourLiveEvent.com as well. We'll be right back here on the Solely Realty pregame show coming up next.
Christian Motors of Fertile has? Stop by the lot, talk with one of the guys about the huge selection of cars, trucks, SUVs, vans, and so much more. They've got a great selection of used vehicles right now. You can view them at christianmotors.com or christiancarsonline.com. One of the biggest selection of used vehicles around, it's Christian Motors. They're proud to be your Chevy and GMC dealer, Highway 32 North in Fertile.
This is Chris from RDK Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. We are less than 90 days until spring planting. 90 days. Are you ready? Is your maintenance plan in place? Do you have parts on hand? Are any upgrade options decided on and purchased? We can help. Spring will be here before you know it, and we will help you meet the challenge. Contact RDK Enterprises at planterdoc.com. That's planterdoc.com.
My name is Jared, born and raised in Minnesota, and I'm a project director at Enbridge. Enbridge is more than a pipeline company. It's a company participating in renewable energy projects in Minnesota and abroad, and I'm really proud to be working here.
We believe a cleaner energy future is achievable. For over 20 years, we've been early adopters of renewable energy, and we're proudly committed to net zero emissions by 2050. To hear more from Jared, visit enbridge.com/Jared. That's Jerrid.
And welcome back into the YourLiveEvent.com and Soy Realty pregame show here on 96.7 FM KKCQ. And joining me now on the Border Bank and Clearbrook pregame coaches comments is head coach Ben Hemberger of the Fosston Greyhounds. And coach, your guys coming off a Pine Prairie championship, immediately getting met with one of the toughest teams in the state. How are you guys feeling coming into tonight, especially?
Well, I think our kids are excited for the chance. I think we've proven this year that we've been able to compete with all. Some of the top teams in our area for sure, and statewide with Cherry and all that. But it's a different animal coming over here playing Cass Lake, and they're very, very good. They're highly ranked for a reason. Like I said, I think our kids are excited for the opportunity, and I think if we play well, I think we'll have a shot.
And then, on top of it too, for your guys, we talked about it on Saturday as well, but, your guys facing those challenges especially, how does that feel for you as a coach, having those challenges heading towards the playoffs here especially?
Well, I think I would rather have it, these tougher games right now at the end of the season like this than, the other way around. I think, it gets you a little bit more focused, going into tournament play because you need to have that right mindset when we're going into those types of games. So hopefully, that'll be a building block, I guess, for us, as we get closer to postseason.
And then on top of it, this is a rematch from playoffs from last year as well. For you guys, coming into tonight, obviously you guys coming in playing very well at the same time. Do you think that experience that you guys had last postseason as well gives you guys a bit of an advantage here coming into tonight as well?
Well, I don't know how much of an advantage it gives us because they took it at us pretty good last year in that postseason game. So I know we played them once, about this time of the year last year, and we lost a close one to them at home, and then we played them up at the Ralph, and they kind of took it at us there a little bit. But so I don't know how much of an advantage that really gives us, I guess, necessarily. But it's a new year, new teams, and new everything. So we'll see what happens.
Chance for a bit of a revenge game here tonight, then?
I'm not so worried about that. I mean, this is, like I said, it's a new year. Last year was last year. This is this year, and we just want to get better each day.
And then on top of it as well, for you guys coming off that big win against Ada, having that playoff atmosphere as well, coming into tonight now, probably going to be another ruckus crowd here tonight as well. Do you think that also will better prepare you guys for the environment as well?
I hope so. It was loud in that gym on Saturday for sure. It was definitely playoff type, and our kids really had to focus and communicate and all those types of things. And tonight I expect it to be a very loud crowd over here as well. I know their fans, they love basketball over here, and they're very good on the court as well. And they there's a reason why they win every single year, and so it's going to be quite a challenge for us, to deal with the crowd noise and all that. But hopefully having the veteran-led group that we have, we'll be able to handle some of that stuff.
And then I know a lot of the top teams, you look at it and there's always that one player that stands out. But, for me, what stands out with your team is the fact that you don't really have that one player that really takes it above and beyond. It's a team mentality for you guys. How important has that been for you guys throughout this year?
Well, I think it's, kind of been their MO. They're a very unselfish group. They, play very well together. They don't really care who gets the glory, to be honest. And, we got, 5 guys averaging between 10 and 13 and a half points per game. And I think we've had probably 5 or 6 different kids lead us in scoring this year, and we share the ball very well. I think I just looked it up yesterday. I think on 27 made shots a game, I think we're assisting on 21 or 22 of those. So, we're moving the ball well, and we're finding the open guy, and for the most part, we've been knocking the shots down when we've had the opportunity. So, but in games like this, you're really gonna have to knock the shots down. So hopefully we can handle their pressure and everything that they bring to the table. But yeah, it's been good. I like how we've progressed throughout the year for sure.
And with that being said, what needs to happen for the Greyhounds to pull out a win here tonight?
Well, we're going to have to take care of the basketball. They're going to come after us with pressure, and we're going to have to handle their heat. Defensively, I mean, they're second highest scoring team in the state right now, I think, and or third highest or something like that. But either way, they're scoring a lot of points, and we got to try to hold them down the best we can. I know we got to try to contain Staples Fairbanks and Caden Lee as best we can, because both of those two kids are capable for going for 30, 40 points in a game. Hopefully not at the same time, but two very, very good players. And they got some other nice complementary players as well, and they're very athletic, very well coached, and they do a lot of real nice things. So it's going to be a big challenge for us.
Coach, thanks for the time. Looking forward to seeing your guys out there tonight.
Sounds good. Thank you.
And special thanks to head coach Ben Hemberger of the Fosston Greyhounds for joining me here on the Soy Realty pregame show here on KKCQ 96.7 FM, as well as on YourLiveEvent.com. and we're going to take a 2-minute timeout. When we come back, we're going to go ahead and get into our Hugo's Family Marketplace and Hugo's Express starting lineups for the Fosston Greyhounds and the Cass Lake-Bena Panthers in Game 1 of the doubleheader, the double feature here tonight on YourLiveEvent.com and KKCQ 96.7 FM. Stay tuned for more coming up next on the Soy Realty pregame show in 2 minutes.
National Bank Bemidji isn't just a bank. We're believers in a bright future for the community. Our customers are more than names on a screen. They're neighbors, each with their own story. Every day, we help them reach their dreams, confident that what's good for the community is good for us. We always remember where we're from and who we're here for, because at First National Bank Bemidji, we're better together.
Welcome to Lakes Community Co-op. A new name, familiar faces, continued services, and customer service from your co-op in your community. Lakes Community Co-op. As we move forward, you can depend on us for fuel, propane, animal feed, meat locker plant, milk purchasing and hauling, pet food, hardware, convenience stores, tires, vehicle service, natural gas, and more of our services we provide from Lakes Community Co-op.
From shoulder to hand, hips to toes, and everything in between, the Riverview Health Orthopedic Team has you covered. With advanced training and joint replacements, upper and lower extremity, spine, foot, and ankle care, you know you'll be in good hands with Dr. Spinell, Schall, Sekundiak, Stanky, Kim, and Abasi. For appointments, call Riverview Clinic at 218-281-9595.
Riverview Health, exceptional people, exceptional care. Riverview Health.
Let's get real. Get ready for a place that's big enough to grow and small enough to care. The University of Minnesota Crookston offers more than 35 majors, minors, and certificates. Earn a University of Minnesota degree, where you can make a difference in a close-knit community. Faculty become friends and friends feel like family. You don't need a big city, just big dreams. The University of Minnesota Crookston. Real, hands-on, and will get you ready for anything.
And welcome back in to the Soy Realty pregame show here on 96.7 FM KKCQ, as well as on YourLiveEvent.com, getting you all set to go. Fosston Greyhounds, Cass Lake-Bena Panthers in a rematch from section playoffs from last year as well. So going to keep you up to date on all of that as well as we go ahead and keep you all set to go. Now, let's get into the Hugo's Family Marketplace and Hugo's Express starting lineups. They are now open in Fosston. Go ahead and check them out today. Starting with the Fosston Greyhounds, Aaron Norland, the senior, starting out there in the backcourt with his brother Cullen Norland out there. Carson Bushy out there with Zach Tice and the senior Darren Scala, all out there for the Fosston Greyhounds. That is your starting lineups here for tonight for the Fosston Greyhounds. On the other side for the Cass Lake-Bena Panthers, it's going to be Kingsley Whitebird out there with Caden Lee, Dominic Staples Fairbanks, as well as Aiden White and Cole Cross out there for the Panthers. So those are your Hugo's Family Marketplace and Hugo's Express starting lineups. They are now open in Fosston. Check them out today. And now we're going to have our tip-off coming up next right here on KKCQ 96.7 FM, as well as on YourLiveEvent.com, whether you want to stream it to your home or you want to go ahead and check it out on the radio dial. As always, you can check it out right here with 96.7 FM KKCQ, as well as YourLiveEvent.com. Tip-off coming up next. Fosston Greyhounds, Cass Lake-Bena Panthers, and Cass Lake coming up next. Stay tuned.
Stay up to date with the latest goings-on in the region with the Coaches Show every Wednesday night on YourLiveEvent.com.
Goes deep down the middle, has a man, Soka Porter! Soka Porter to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, and taken down there.
We'll dive into the latest stories from North Dakota and Minnesota.
And there's the block by Reese.
That's the Coaches Show with me, Joe Lancello, on YourLiveEvent.com every Wednesday night starting at 7.
Have you seen the huge selection of used vehicles that Christian Motors of Fertile has? Stop by the lot, talk with one of the guys about the huge selection of cars, trucks, SUVs, vans, and so much more. They've got a great selection of used vehicles right now. You can view them at christianmotors.com or christiancarsonline.com. One of the biggest selection of used vehicles around, it's Christian Motors. They're proud to be your Chevy and GMC dealer, Highway 32 North in Fertile.
This is Chris from RDK Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. We are less than 90 days until spring planting. 90 days. Are you ready? Is your maintenance plan in place? Do you have parts on hand? Are any upgrade options decided on and purchased? We can help. Spring will be here before you know it, and we will help you meet the challenge. Contact RDK Enterprises at planterdoc.com. That's planterdoc.com.
My name is Jared, born and raised in Minnesota, and I'm a project director at Enbridge. Enbridge is more than a pipeline company. It's a company participating in renewable energy projects in Minnesota and abroad, and I'm really proud to be working here.
We believe a cleaner energy future is achievable. For over 20 years, we've been early adopters of renewable energy, and we're proudly committed to net zero emissions by 2050. To hear more from Jared, visit enbridge.com/Jared. That's JERRID.
First National Bank Bemidji isn't just a bank. We're believers in a bright future for the community. Our customers are more than names on a screen. They're neighbors, each with their own story. Every day, we help them reach their dreams, confident that what's good for the community is good for us. We always remember where we're from and who we're here for, because at First National Bank Bemidji, we're better together.
Welcome to Lakes Community Co-op. A new name, familiar faces, continued services, and customer service from your co-op in your community. Lakes Community Co-op. As we move forward, you can depend on us for fuel, propane, animal feed, meat locker plant, milk purchasing and hauling, pet food, hardware, convenience stores, tires, vehicle service, natural gas, and more of our services we provide from Lakes Community Co-op.
From shoulder to hand, hips to toes, and everything in between, the Riverview Health Orthopedic Team has you covered. With advanced training and joint replacements, upper and lower extremity, spine, foot, and ankle care, you know you'll be in good hands with Drs. Spinell, Schall, Sekundiak, Stanky, Kim, and Abasi. For appointments, call Riverview Clinic at 218-281-9595.
Riverview Health, exceptional people, exceptional care. Riverview Health.
Let's get real. Get ready for a place that's big enough to grow and small enough to care. The University of Minnesota Crookston offers more than 35 majors, minors, and certificates. Earn a University of Minnesota degree, where you can make a difference in a close-knit community. Faculty become friends, and friends feel like family. You don't need a big city, just big dreams. The University of Minnesota Crookston. Real, hands-on, and will get you ready for anything.
Stay up to date with the latest goings-on in the region with the Coaches Show every Wednesday night on yourliveevent.com.
Goes deep down the middle, has a man, Soka Porter! Soka Porter to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, and taken down there.
We'll dive into the latest stories from North Dakota and Minnesota.
And there's the block by Reese.
That's the Coaches Show with me, Joe Lancello, on yourliveevent.com every Wednesday night starting at 7.
Have you seen the huge selection of used vehicles that Christian Motors of Fertile has? Stop by the lot, talk with one of the guys about the huge selection of cars, trucks, SUVs, vans, and so much more. They've got a great selection of used vehicles right now. You can view them at christianmotors.com or christiancarsonline.com. One of the biggest selection of used vehicles around, it's Christian Motors. They're proud to be your Chevy and GMC dealer, Highway 32 North in Fertile.
And welcome in to Cass Lake, Minnesota, as we have your action in a doubleheader here this evening. as the Fosston Greyhounds coming in for a doubleheader against Cass Lake-Bena Panthers. Starting off tonight, it's going to be the boys taking on the boys matchup here in the first half of the doubleheader. And we're getting you all set to go here. Again, thank you for joining us, whether it be on your radio dial on 96.7 FM at KKCQ, or whether it be on yourliveevent.com. We'll keep you all up to date regardless over here, whether it be on either side. You can also tune in on rjbroadcasting.com. I'm your play-by-play voice, Mac Robinson. My producer, Rob, here this evening, getting you all up to date on the action here going on. We'll also keep you up to date as the Bagley Fosston Flyers hockey team playing in the postseason. We'll keep you up to date on that as well. And also want to say special thanks to producer Dawson Peterson back in studio as we get ready for the tip. It's going to be Carson Bushy facing off against Caden Lee for the tip. And the officials checking everything. And the tip is up, and it's going to be won by Carson Bushy. Aaron Norland with the pass, and passes that over once again to Cohen Norland. Now going inside, Darren Scala, shot up, no good. Rebound going to be tipped around, picked up by Caden Lee. Caden Lee pushing his way in transition. No-look pass going up to Whitebird, who's able to get that one up and good, and that's up and good on the Lynn Forest Insurance Agency and Lakes Community Co-op scoreboard. 2-0 now your score as Cass Lake taking the early lead thanks to a Kingsley Whitebird layup. Now good ball movement from the Fosston Greyhounds. Plenty of ball movement from them here throughout the night. Expect that for sure. Cohen Norland, three-pointer, top of the key, no good. Rebound going to be grabbed there by Caden Lee. Caden Lee now pushing the ball into the forward court. Crosses the Panther logo, up at the top of the key, covered by Cohen Norland. Working his way to his left, going down baseline. Layup off the glass and good. Caden Lee now on the Lynn Forest Insurance Agency and Lakes Community Cooperative scoreboard. Pass going over to the outside and finding Zach Tice. Zach Tice covered by White. Passes that back over to Aaron Norland. Norland over to Tice, who gives it back over to Aaron Norland. Swings it back over to Cohen Norland. Back to Tice. Tice over to Bushy. Bushy thought about the three. Crosses over, works his way back to the center, gives it over to Tice. Tice step back, gives it back over to Norland. Norland from deep, got it. Cohen Norland with a triple, 4-3 your score. And as the Panthers try to work the ball around, trying to go inside a little bit, that is Fairbanks. Fairbanks passes that one back out to Whitebird. Whitebird works his way inside, thought about it, picks up his dribble, passes back out to the outside over to Staples Fairbanks. Dominic Fairbanks passes that over to Cole Cross. Cole Cross passes that back over to Fairbanks. Fairbanks shot up. No. And the shot is going to be up and good for Aiden White. Aiden White with the bucket. Now 6-3 your score. Lynn Forest Insurance Agency as well as the Lakes Community Cooperative scoreboard here this evening. And Aaron Norland sets up the offense, gives it over to Zach Tice. Tice swings that one over to Scala. Scala fires it back over to Cohen Norland, back over to Zach Tice. Tice in the lane, layup up and good. Zach Tice able to drill the lay-in. And now it's Cass Lake basketball as Whitebird with it. Tries to go baseline, layup going up. No, the bucket is good, but they're going to wave the bucket off. It's going to be an offensive foul. It's going to be the first foul of the night. And that's going to be a foul on Whitebird. That is his first of the evening. And the inbounds pass coming from Zach Tice. Tice goes into Norland. Norland brings the ball into the forward court. Passes that one over to Scala. Scala back over to Bushy, who gives that back over to Norland. Back over to Aaron Norland now. Over to Zach Tice beyond the arc. Zach Tice pass over to Scala. Scala thought about it. Picks up his dribble, gives it back over to Aaron Norland. Norland over to Bushy. Bushy back out to Aaron Norland. Aaron Norland over to Scala in the corner. Gives that back up top of the key over to Tice, who passes that over to Bushy. Bushy, pull-up jumper, mid-range, up, no good. Tipped in the air, going to be grabbed there by Staples Fairbanks, and there's going to be a foul call. That's going to go against Aaron Norland. So that is the first foul for the Greyhounds here of the game. 14:30 left to go here in the first half. And now the pass going over. As that is Staples Fairbanks with the ball. Passes that one back over to Caden Lee. Caden Lee working against Cohen Norland. Cohen Norland passes that back out to Staples Fairbanks. Staples Fairbanks orchestrating the offense, gives it over to Caden Lee. Caden Lee at the logo, passes that back over to Staples Fairbanks. Staples Fairbanks working against Aaron Norland. Back out to the outside over to Whitebird. Whitebird back over, finding Aiden White. Caden Lee trying to go baseline. Step back, fade away, up no good. Rebound by Aaron Norland. Bounce pass going up to Cohen Norland. He's gonna lose the handle on that one. Aiden White now in transition. Aiden White going up with it. Shot going up. Offensive foul. No bucket after the foul there going against Aiden White. That's his first of the game. So it'll be Fosston Greyhound basketball. Cass Lake-Bena with the lead, 6-5 on the Lakes Community Cooperative and Linforth Insurance Agency scoreboard. Aaron Norland with it for the Greyhounds. Passes over to Darren Scala. Scala over to Cohen Norland. Norland back out to Tice. Tice thought about the three, and he's going to get called for the travel. So now it will be Cass Lake-Bena basketball. Inbounds pass goes to Staples Fairbanks. Staples Fairbanks at the logo. Passes that over to Caden Lee on the right side. Caden Lee working against Cohen Norland. Fires that inside, intercepted there by Aaron Norland. Aaron Norland now pushing it in transition before slowing it down is Zach Tice. So pass back up to Cohen Norland. Cohen Norland handoff to Zach Tice. Tice works his way inside, passes out to Carson Bushy. Carson Bushy back over to Scala, who gives it back over to Aaron Norland. Back to Cohen Norland. Cohen Norland outside to Zach Tice. Pass back out to Aaron Norland from deep. Got it. Aaron Norland with the triple. And the Greyhounds take the lead 8-6. 12:25 and counting left to go here in the first quarter. Or the first half, excuse me. Jumper from Caden Lee. Up, no good. Rebound by Aaron Norland. Aaron Norland firing it up to Cohen Norland. Cohen Norland, pass over to Scala, gives it over to Tice. Tice over to Scala. Back to Tice on the left side, almost at the corner. Gives it back over to Bushy, gives it to Scala. Scala inside to Tice, back out to Norland. Norland fires it back over to Scala. Over to Bushy, who hands it off to Aaron Norland, fires it over to Zach Tice. Tice over to Cohen Norland in the corner, in the left corner. Gives that back over to Bushy. Bushy working his way to the elbow, gives it back over to Aaron Norland. Aaron Norland over to Scala, who gives it back over to Tice, top of the key. Tice slows it down, backs up to the logo, gives that back over to Bushy, who gives it over to Scala, over to Aaron Norland, who gives it back over to Bushy. Bushy over to Tice. Tice thought about it before being met by Aiden White, gives it over to Aaron Norland, fires it over to Carson Bushy. Carson Bushy trying to work his way inside, almost taken away by Caden Lee. Gives it over to Scala. Scala over to Cohen Norland, back to Scala, up off the glass and good. And 10-6 your lead. As Darren Scala now on the scoreboard. Talked about a pregame with head coach Ben Hemberger, but good balanced attack as there are 4 Greyhounds scoring the first 10 points of the game. Shot going up, no good for Cass Lake-Bena. Now heading the other way are the Greyhounds. Bushy passes over to Tice, who gives it back to Cohen Norland. Cohen Norland gets the screen from Zach Tice. Foot on the line, shot up and good. Cohen Norland now with 5. It's the first Greyhound with a second basket of the night. Pass going over to the outside, over to Caden Lee. Caden Lee trying to find some space, going up against Cohen Norland. Goes into the lane. Shot going up. That's good. Caden Lee now with 4. And your score 12-8. Lakes Community Cooperative and Lynn Forest Insurance Agency scoreboard. Pass from Tice goes over to Scala, who gives that over to Cohen Norland. Cohen Norland fires that over to Tice. Tice over to Scala. Scala over to the corner. Bushy from deep. No good. Rebound. That going to the Panthers. Now off and running the other way is Kingsley Whitebird. Whitebird bounce pass over to Caden Lee. Caden Lee in the corner. Trying to create a little bit of space going up against Cohen Norland, and they're going to get him for the offense foul. Pushed off of Cohen Norland, and that's going to be Caden Lee's first foul of the game. And substitutions are going to be coming in. Maybe a little overeager as they go ahead. Order of operations, make sure they get everything in. Foul gets called. Substitutions then come in. That's the first foul of the game for Caden Lee. And now Hunter Bushy coming in, as well as, looks like Thatcher Palabecki coming in as well. They come in for Scala. A quick inbounds pass goes over to Cohen Norland. Cohen Norland passes that one over to Tice. Tice orchestrates the offense. Dribbles, gives it back out to Cohen Norland in the corner. Gives it back over to Aaron Norland up top. Aaron Norland trying to work his way into the lane. Gives it back out to Cohen Norland, who tries to go baseline. Shot going up, no good. Rebound going to be poked over to Cass Lake-Bena, and now they're pushing the pace. As that Staples Fairbanks pull-up shot, up and good. Dominic Staples Fairbanks able to get that one, and your score, 12-10. Lynn Forest Insurance Agency scoreboard and Lakes Community Cooperative scoreboard. Going inside, Hunter Bushy, try to get the bounce pass. That one taken away by Christopher Vale. And they're going to call a foul. It's going to go against Hudson Bushy. That is his first of the game. Just the Greyhound's second foul of the game. 9 minutes, 5 seconds left to go here in the first half. We just have 5 fouls total between both teams in this game. Relatively clean game so far. What do you know? Broadcaster's curse. Knock on wood. And the shot out from Caden Lee from deep. Up, no good. Going to be tipped around and fought for by Palabecki. Picked up by Zach Tice. Gives that up to Cohen Norland. Cohen Norland works his way into the forward court. Slows it up. Passes back out to Zach Tice on the left side. Zach Tice surveying the defense. Tries to go baseline with it. Passes back out to Hunter Bushy, who gives it over to Aaron Norland. Inside to Cohen Norland. Cohen Norland is going to be fouled. And that's going to go against Dominic Staples Fairbanks. That is his first of the game. And the Cass Lake-Bena Panthers' 4th foul of this one. So the inbounds pass on the way. Goes in, that finding Thatcher Palabecki. Palabecki gives that over to Zach Tice. Back out to Aaron Norland. Aaron Norland fires that over to Cohen Norland. Cohen Norland tries to go into the lane. Shot going up, no good. Rebound going to be grabbed there by Vale. Vale passes that one over to Trayvon Lee. Trayvon Lee giving that back over to Caden Lee. Caden Lee passes that one over to Staples Fairbanks. Staples Fairbanks getting the offense set up. Gets a screen set there by Boswell. Pass back out to the outside. Shot up by Trayvon Lee. No good. Rebound going to be grabbed by Thatcher Palabecki. Palabecki bounce pass over to Aaron Norland. Aaron Norland going to be met by Staples Fairbanks. Trying to get into the forward court is Norland, and does. Norland crosses over, goes into the lane, bounce pass over to Palabecki. Try to get that back over to Norland, does, and Norland able to get the bucket. Aaron Norland now able to get that one. 14-10 your score. 7:30 left to go here in this ball game. Caden Lee with the ball now, trying to go baseline. Picks up his dribble, fires that one over to Boswell. Boswell gives that back over to Vale. Vale trying to go into the lane, able to get the shot up and good. Chris Vale coming off the bench. 17-12 your score. 7:10 and counting left to go here in the first half. Lynn Forest Insurance Agency scoreboard and Lakes Community Cooperative scoreboard. Screen set by Palabecki for Tice. Pass that back out to Hunter Bushy on the outside. Hunter Bushy passes that one over to Palabecki. Palabecki gives that one back over to Colin Norland. And they're going to call a foul. That foul going to go against Chris Vale. That is his first of the game. 5th team foul. 6:51 left to go here in the first half on the Lindfors Insurance Agency and Lakes Community Cooperative scoreboard. Again, thank you for tuning in, whether it be on your radio dial on 96.7 FM as well as streaming it on whatever device you like to tune in on yourliveevent.com. The inbounds pass goes over to Carson Bushy. Carson Bushy passes that back over to Aaron Norland. Norland over to Scala. And they're going to call an offensive foul. That going against Tony Carleen. Tony Carleen coming in off the bench. They called a moving screen on that one. That's just the third foul of the game on the Fosston Greyhounds. 6:35 and counting left to go here in the first half. And Staples Fairbanks passes that one over, finding Boswell. Boswell gives it over to Caden Lee. Caden Lee covered. Deep triple, no good. Rebound going to be grabbed there by Scala. Scala gives it to Tony Carleen, gives it back to Scala. Scala turns around, gives it over to Cohen Norland. Cohen Norland, pass that one back over, finding Scala. Scala over to Carson Bushy. Runner in the lane, no good. Carson Bushy able to knock that one away. Pass over to Aaron Norland. Aaron Norland has that one poked away by Caden Lee. That goes out of bounds. So even 6 minutes left on the clock. Lindfors Insurance Agency and Lakes Community Cooperative scoreboard. 14-12 your score. Quick bounce pass back. Carson Bushy blocked by Caden Lee off the glass. Now heading the other way, Staples Fairbanks. Shot going up and good. Christopher Vale now with 4. We're all knotted up at 14 apiece. Now heading the other way, Scala. And they're going to call a push on Cass Lake-Bena. And that's going to be called against Vale. So that's the 16th foul of the game. Second foul on Vale here this evening. That's the first Cass Lake-Bena Panther to have multiple fouls on him here this evening. The inbounds pass goes out to Cohen Norland. Norland gives that over to Aaron Norland. Aaron Norland out to Carson Bushy, who gives that over to Scala. Scala passes that one back out to Carson Bushy. Carson Bushy back out to Scala. Scala thought about it. Gives it back over to Carson Bushy in the right corner. Goes inside to Tony Carleen, back out to Bushy. Bushy going baseline with it, picks up his dribble. Spin, pass out to Cohen Norland, able to drain the triple. That's his second triple of the evening, and the Greyhounds have the lead once again, 17-14. And the shot going up from Caden Lee, that's good. He's able to answer back. 17-16 your score. Caden Lee now with 6. The inbounds pass finding Cohen Norland. Cohen Norland into the forward court across the Panther logo at center court. Gives it over to Aaron Norland. Aaron Norland trying to orchestrate traffic. And they're going to stop play. As looks like there was a baseball that rolled along the floor. Official going to go ahead and pick that one up. And so coming out is going to be Tony Carleen. Coming in is going to be Zach Tice. Pass going over to Zach Tice on the right side. Gives that back over to Hudson Bushy. Hudson Bushy over to Scala. Scala back to Aaron Norland, finding Hudson Bushy on the right side. Coming back to Tice, top of the key. Tice going to take the triple. He's got it. Zach Tice with the triple. That's a 4-point lead for the Fosston Greyhounds. Caden Lee now with it, working his way to the right, trying to go baseline, and does. Off the layup, there is good. Down the baseline, and it's a 2-point lead now for Fosston. Zach Tice now with it, gives it over to Hudson Bushy. Hudson Bushy picks up his dribble, gives it back over to Aaron Norland. Norland back over to Tice. Tice, spin move, trying to pass that one over to Bushy, and does. Back out to Norland, who gives it over to Tice. Tice over to Bushy in the corner. Got it. That's a triple there for Carson Bushy. And that's going to be a timeout taken, a Fosston A&W timeout. We'll take it with them right here on yourliveevent.com as well as on 96.7 FM KKCQ. We'll take a 1-minute timeout right here We'll be back after this.
From RDK Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. We are less than 90 days until spring planting. 90 days. Are you ready? Is your maintenance plan in place? Do you have parts on hand? Are any upgrade options decided on and purchased? We can help. Spring will be here before you know it, and we will help you meet the challenge. Contact RDK Enterprises at planterdoc.com. That's planterdoc.com.
My name is Jared, born and raised in Minnesota, and I'm a project director at Enbridge. Enbridge is more than a pipeline company. It's a company participating in renewable energy projects in Minnesota and abroad, and I'm really proud to be working here.
We believe a cleaner energy future is achievable. For over 20 years, we've been early adopters of renewable energy, and we're proudly committed to net zero emissions by 2050. To hear more from Jared, visit enbridge.com/Jared. That's JERRID.
And welcome back into Cass Lake as the Fosston Greyhounds currently leading 23-18 over Cass Lake-Bena here on yourliveevent.com and on 96.7 FM at KKCQ. The inbounds pass goes into Cass Lake. Caden Lee with it, passes that one back out to the outside. That shot going up, no good there for Staples Fairbanks. Rebounded by the Panthers. Shot up from Caden Lee, no good. Rebound. It's going to be knocked away. They're going to call a foul as Tatum Boswell going to have a couple of Mustang Seeds free throws on the way. Tate Boswell. First free throw is up and good. And the foul was going against Cullen Norland. That is his first of the night. And the second Mustang Seeds free throw is up and good. So Tate Boswell with 2 now, and it's a 3-point lead for the Fosston Greyhounds as the Greyhounds cross into the forward court. 3:20 left to go here in the first half. Pass out to Hudson Bushy. Hudson Bushy back out to Cullen Norland. Norland over to Tice. Zach Tice swings it over to Carson Bushy. Deep triple, no good. Rebound going to be grabbed there by Scala. Darren Scala, pass that back out to Hudson Bushy. Gives that back over to Scala. Scala loses the handle on that one. Taken away and off and running is Joshua Graves. Graves picks up his dribble, gives it back out to Staples Fairbanks. Triple, good. And that's going to be a Fosston A&W timeout taken. We'll keep it here. We'll keep it here. And we're all knotted up at 23 on the Linforce Insurance Agency and Lakes Community Cooperative scoreboard. Again, 2:47 left to go in the first half in this one. Again, this is game 1 of 2, so again, make sure you stick around. Girls game will be following the boys game in this doubleheader here from Cass Lake. And let's go through some of our statistics, of course, brought to you by our friends at Christian Motors. Stop by Christian Motors for the absolute best selection in used cars or visit them online at ChristianCarsOnline.com. Leading scorers, Caden Lee, 8 points for Cass Lake-Bena. And on the other side for the Fosston Greyhounds, Cullen Norland with 8 points of his own this evening. So top scorers, 8 points apiece in this one, of course. Like I mentioned, Christian Motors sponsoring our statistics. As always, visit them online at ChristianCarsOnline.com. Inbounds pass, finding Cullen Norland. Cullen Norland going to try to bring the ball into the forward court and does across the Panther logo at midcourt. Passes that one over to Scala. Scala picks up his dribble and gives that over to Tice. Tice gives that into Cullen Norland, who passes that back out to Hudson Bushy. Swinging it back out to the outside. Over to Carson Bushy. Good ball movement from the Greyhounds this evening, working their way from left to right now. Cullen Norland gives it over to Scala. Scala passes that over to Tice. Tice trying to orchestrate the offense here. Just over 2 minutes left to go here in the first half. Passes that one over to Norland. Norland gives that over to Hudson Bushy. Hudson Bushy gives that out to Cullen Norland. Norland back out to Tice. Over to Scala. Scala trying to work their way on offense. Pass that over to Hudson Bushy from deep. Up, no good. Rebound going to be grabbed. That one grabbed there by Boswell. Boswell gives it over to Caden Lee. Caden Lee brings the ball into the forward court. Caden Lee, crossover into the lane. Shot going up, no good. Offensive foul on Caden Lee. That's his second of the night. Good job by the Greyhounds from setting their feet there in the lane, able to draw the offensive foul. That's the second offensive foul tonight on Caden Lee. Bounce pass goes in to Bushy, who gives it back over to Colin Norland. Minute 30 left to go here in the first half. Lakes Community Cooperative and Lynn Force Insurance Agency scoreboard. And Scala gives that over to Bushy, who gives that to Colin Norland. Colin Norland has that one. Almost has that taken away by Caden Lee. That's a foul. That's Caden Lee's third. So again, just 2 more on Lee, and that will be his night. Minute 20 left to go here in the first half, and Lee was upset with that call. So in the bonus now, Colin Norland going to be shooting 1-1 when it comes to Mustang Seeds free throws. Coming in is going to be Chris Vale. Coming out will be Caden Lee. So the inbounds, or the Mustang Seeds free throw is up and good for Norland. That he now has a game-high 9. And the next Mustang Seeds free throw on the way is up and good. So the basket is good. So now it is a 2-point Fosston lead. And so now it will be Staples Fairbanks that brings the ball into the forward court. Pass over to Graves. Graves going baseline, pass that back out to Lee. Trayvon Lee, pass over to Staples Fairbanks on the left side. He's going to lose the handle on it. It's going to go back with Fosston. Fosston Greyhound bench energetic here tonight. And so Zach Tice will take the inbounds pass. And he will inbounds this over to Carson Bushy, who hands that off to Colin Norland. Colin Norland slowly brings the ball into the forward court. 1 minute left to go here in the first half. Again, your score, 25-23, Fosston Greyhounds lead over Cass Lake-Bena. Scala with the ball, passes that over to Aaron Norland, who fires over to Zach Tice. Tice passes that one over to Aaron Norland, who fires over to Carson Bushy. Inside to Colin Norland, back out to Tice. Tice thought about the triple. Pass that back out to Norland. Aaron Norland over to Carson Bushy, who gives it to Scala. Scala over to Tice. 30 seconds left. Tice slowly orchestrating the offense. Just churning that clock down as Zach Tice, covered by Trayvon Lee, passes that over to Colin Norland. 15 seconds left to go. Colin Norland, bounce pass to Aaron Norland. Aaron Norland over to Tice, and they're going to call the foul. That's going to be a foul against Christopher Vale. That is his third of the game. Chris Vale, that's his third. And you're scored 25-23. I don't know why the scoreboard just jumped up a bit. Shot going up, no good. Going to be saved in there by Bushy. Carson Bushy. Staples Fairbanks. Shot going up at the buzzer, no good. Your score at the half should be 25-23. There's a bit of an issue there with the scoreboard. So I'll go ahead, make sure I get everything checked out for you here at the half. We'll come back. We're going to take a 3-minute timeout here at the half, and we will come back, give you your first half statistics and more coming up right here on yourliveevent.com and KKCQ 96.7 FM. We'll be right back after this in 3 minutes.
First National Bank Bemidji isn't just a bank. We're believers in a bright future for the community. Our customers are more than names on a screen. They're neighbors, each with their own story. Every day, we help them reach their dreams, confident that what's good for the community is good for us. We always remember where we're from and who we're here for, because at First National Bank Bemidji, we're better together.
Welcome to Lakes Community Co-op, a new name, familiar faces, continued services, and customer service from your co-op in your community. Lakes Community Co-op. As we move forward, you can depend on us for fuel, propane, animal feed, meat locker plant, milk purchasing and hauling, pet food, hardware, convenience stores, tires, vehicle service, natural gas, and more of our services we provide from Lakes Community Co-op.
From shoulder to hand, hips to toes, and everything in between, the Riverview Health Orthopedic Team has you covered. With advanced training and joint replacements, upper and lower extremity, spine, foot, and ankle care, you know you'll be in good hands with Drs. Spinell, Schall, Sekundiak, Stanky, Kim, and Abasi. For appointments, call Riverview Clinic at 218-281-9595.
Riverview Health, exceptional people, exceptional care. Riverview Health.
Let's get real. Get ready for a place that's big enough to grow and small enough to care. The University of Minnesota Crookston offers more than 35 majors, minors, and certificates. Earn a University of Minnesota degree, where you can make a difference in a close-knit community. Faculty become friends and friends feel like family. You don't need a big city, just big dreams. The University of Minnesota Crookston. Real, hands-on, and will get you ready for anything.
Stay up to date with the latest goings-on in the region with the Coaches Show every Wednesday night on YourLiveEvent.com.
Goes deep down the middle, has a man, Soka Porter! Soka Porter to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, and taken down there.
We'll dive into the latest stories from North Dakota and Minnesota.
And there's the block by Reese.
That's the Coaches Show with me, Joe Lancello, on YourLiveEvent.com every Wednesday night starting at 7.
Have you seen the huge selection of used vehicles that Christian Motors of Fertile has? Stop by the lot, talk with one of the guys about the huge selection of cars, trucks, SUVs, vans, and so much more. They've got a great selection of used vehicles right now. You can view them at christianmotors.com or christiancarsonline.com. One of the biggest selection of used vehicles around, it's Christian Motors. They're proud to be your Chevy and GMC dealer, Highway 32 North in Fertile.
This is Chris from RDK Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. We are less than 90 days until spring planting. 90 days. Are you ready? Is your maintenance plan in place? Do you have parts on hand? Are any upgrade options decided on and purchased? We can help. Spring will be here before you know it, and we will help you meet the challenge. Contact RDK Enterprises at planterdoc.com. That's planterdoc.com.
My name is Jared, born and raised in Minnesota, and I'm a project director at Enbridge. Enbridge is more than a pipeline company. It's a company participating in renewable energy projects in Minnesota and abroad, and I'm really proud to be working here.
We believe a cleaner energy future is achievable. For over 20 years, we've been early adopters of renewable energy, and we're proudly committed to net zero emissions by 2050. To hear more from Jared, visit enbridge.com/Jared. That's JERRID.
First National Bank Bemidji isn't just a bank. We're believers in a bright future for the community. Our customers are more than names on a screen. They're neighbors, each with their own story. Every day, we help them reach their dreams, confident that what's good for the community is good for us. We always remember where we're from and who we're here for, because at First National Bank Bemidji, we're better together.
And welcome in to halftime as we have the Fosston Greyhounds leading over the Cass Lake-Bena Panthers in game 1 of 2. As the Fosston Greyhounds leading 25-23 over the Cass Lake-Bena Panthers. And really the story of this first half, it's really been back and forth, physical contest between these two. But the big storyline especially really is Caden Lee. Caden Lee leading the way for the Cass Lake-Bena Panthers, obviously one of the top players in the state. He only has 8 points, but the key statistic here, he has 3 fouls. and 2 of them being offensive. One was a reach-in foul. So 3 fouls on Caden Lee for the junior, and now has to play the rest of the game 2 fouls away from having his night be over. So, Cass Lake for Fosston doing a good job of making sure that you're dealing when it comes to the Cass Lake-Bena Panthers, putting them in foul trouble. That's where the Fosston Greyhounds, again, coming into tonight 19-4, winning the Pine and Prairie Conference. That's how they got to this point. And for the Fosston Greyhounds, let's dive into your Christian Motor statistics, and let's start with the Fosston Greyhounds. Cohen Norland leading the way. He has a pair of triples here this evening. He has 9 points. Behind him, 5 points apiece from Zach Tice, who has a triple of his own, as well as triple for Aaron Norland. He has 5 as well. Carson Bushy also adding in a triple of his own, and Darren Scala adding in a bucket for himself. He's got 2 points this evening. Cass Lake obviously leading the way. Caden Lee leading the way with points. He has 8. Behind him, Dominic Staples Fairbanks, he has 5. And Chris Vale off the bench adding in 4 as well. And then 2 points apiece for Kingsley Whitebird, Aiden White, as well as a couple of Mustang Seeds free throws for Tate Boswell. And so those are your Christian Motor statistics. And stop by Christian Motors for the absolute best selection in used cars. Look, with Christian Motors, there's locations in Minnesota, including Fertile and Crookston, locations in North Dakota, including Findlay, Cooperstown, Jamestown. They got a used superstore in Mayville. There's no excuse not to go to Christian Motors, but if you can't make it out to one of their many locations, go ahead and visit them online, ChristianCarsOnline.com. Christian Motors, the absolute best selection in used cars. So that's your halftime report. And again, coming into the second half, Greyhounds up by 2. Now, it's worth mentioning, Cass Lake-Bena, both of these teams played the same opponent recently. Cass Lake-Bena beating Ada Borup West 60-58 just a couple of weeks ago, and the Fosston Greyhounds defeating Ada Borup West on Saturday 66-49 in the Pine and Prairie Conference Championship. So it's going to be interesting to see how these two will match up, as again, both these teams beating Ada, both of these teams facing off here tonight. First time they faced off since the postseason last year, back around this time as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how these two teams fare here coming down the stretch. We got 18 minutes of basketball, second half action in the boys' half of the doubleheader coming up next right here on KKCQ 96.7 FM, as well as on yourliveevent.com. Stay tuned after 3 minutes.
Lakes Community Co-op, a new name, familiar faces, continued services, and customer service.
Backdoor
Community. Lakes Community Co-op. As we move forward, you can depend on us for fuel, propane, animal feed, meat locker plant, milk purchasing and hauling, pet food, hardware, convenience stores, tires, vehicle service, natural gas, and more of our services we provide from Lakes Community Co-op.
From shoulder to hand, hips to toes, and everything in between, the Riverview Health Orthopedic Team has you covered. With advanced training and joint replacements, upper and lower extremity, spine, foot, and ankle care, you know you'll be in good hands with Drs. Spinell, Schall, Sekundiak, Stanky, Kim, and Abassi. For appointments, call Riverview Clinic at 218-281-9595.
Riverview Health, exceptional people, exceptional care. Riverview Health.
Let's get real. Get ready for a place that's big enough to grow and small enough to care. The University of Minnesota Crookston offers more than 35 majors, minors, and certificates. Earn a University of Minnesota degree, where you can make a difference in a close-knit community. Faculty become friends, and friends feel like family. You don't need a big city, just big dreams. The University of Minnesota Crookston. Real, hands-on, and will get you ready for anything.
Stay up to date with the latest goings-on in the region with the Coaches Show every Wednesday night on yourliveevent.com.
Goes deep down the middle, has a man, Soka Porter! Soka Porter to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, and taken down there.
We'll dive into the latest stories from North Dakota and Minnesota.
And there's the block by Reese.
That's the Coaches Show with me, Joe Lancello, on yourliveevent.com every Wednesday night starting at 7.
Have you seen the huge selection of used vehicles that Christian Motors of Fertile has? Stop by the lot, talk with one of the guys about the huge selection of cars, trucks, SUVs, vans, and so much more. They've got a great selection of used vehicles right now. You can view them at christianmotors.com or christiancarsonline.com. One of the biggest selection of used vehicles around, it's Christian Motors. They're proud to be your Chevy and GMC dealer, Highway 32 North in Fertile.
And welcome back into the second half action. Pass going around for Cass Lake-Bena. Caden Lee with it. Passes that one over to Aiden White. Aiden White swings it over to the outside, over to Staples Fairbanks for three. No good. Rebound picked up by Aaron Norland. Norland gives it over to Cohen Norland. Now pushes back the other way. Cohen Norland over to Aaron. Aaron back to Cohen. Cohen back out to Zach Tice. Zach Tice over to Cohen Norland with the mid-range jumper. Able to drain that one. And Norland able to drain that one. He has 11. And now Staples Fairbanks with it, covered by Aaron Norland. Gets the screen set from Aiden White. Passes that one over to the outside, finding Cole Cross. Passing that over to Caden Lee. Caden Lee. Caden Lee working against Cohen Norland. Goes down baseline, passes that over to Cole Cross up, no good. Rebound by Cohen Norland. Cohen Norland passes that over to the outside. Aaron Norland with it, passes over to Zach Tice. Zach Tice gives that back out to Cohen Norland. Back out to Scala, who gives that back over to Bushy, over to Aaron Norland. Over to Cohen Norland now. Cohen Norland with it, gives it over to Aaron Norland, back out to Scala. Scala passes that over to Zach Tice. Back out to Cohen Norland, who gives it over to Carson Bushy. Back out to Aaron Norland from deep. Got it. Aaron Norland now with 8. Now 30-27 your score. Lakes Community Cooperative and Linforth Insurance Agency scoreboard. And Caden Lee with it. Passes that over to Staples Fairbanks. Staples Fairbanks passes that over to Caden Lee. Caden Lee going baseline, spin move. Shot going up for Caden Lee. Up no good. Rebound by Scala. Scala gives it over to Cohen Norland. Back to Scala. Passes that one back over to the outside, finding Zach Tice. Zach Tice back out to the outside to Cohen Norland. Norland back out to Zach Tice. Back over to Scala, who gives it over to Bushy. Carson Bushy gives it over to Zach Tice. Back over to Aaron Norland. Aaron Norland back out to the outside, finding Scala, who gives it back to Aaron Norland. Scala surveying the defense. Passes that one inside to Zach Tice. Zach Tice tries to go baseline, does. Shot going up, no good. Rebound by Aaron Norland. That's going to be knocked away. Aaron Norland able to poke that one out. Goes back to Scala. Back out to the outside for Bushy for 3. Got it! Carson Bushy now with 6. And it's a 10-point lead for the Greyhounds. The largest lead of the game. 3-point attempt for White. No good. Rebound. Grabbed by Zach Tice. Tice going to take it himself. Tice brings it across the forward court. Passes that one back over to Bushy, or back over to Scala, excuse me. Gives it to Carson Bushy. Bushy, toss over to Cohen Norland. Back out to Bushy. Bushy, deep triple. Got it! 13-point lead for Fosston, and the timeout taken. That's a Fosston A&W timeout taken by John Wynn of Cass Lake-Bena. We'll take it with him. We'll be right back here on KKCQ 96.7 FM, as well as on yourliveevent.com. 36-23, your score. Linforth Insurance Agency and Lakes Community Cooperative scoreboard. We'll be right back in 30.
From RDK Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. We are less than 90 days until spring planting. 90 days. Are you ready? Is your maintenance plan in place? Do you have parts on hand? Are any upgrade options decided on and purchased? We can help. Spring will be here before you know it, and we will help you meet the challenge. Contact RDK Enterprises at planterdoc.com. That's planterdoc.com.
And welcome back into Cass Lake as the Fosston Greyhounds have a 13-point lead, 14-20 left to go in the ball game on the Lindforce Insurance Agency and Lakes Community Cooperative scoreboard. And the inbounds pass goes over to Dominic Staples of Fairbanks. Fairbanks trying to work his way inside. Floater going up, no good. Rebound going to be grabbed by Caden Lee and the foul. And so the foul, let's see who the foul is going to be called on. And it's going to be on Colin Norland. And the Mustang Seeds free throw is up and good for Caden Lee. That's his first point of the second half. And the first point of the second half for Cass Lake-Bena. As they went almost 4 minutes scoreless here to begin the second half, and he drains the second. Caden Lee now with 10. And the inbounds pass goes over to Carson Bushy. And pass going over to the outside. Finding Aaron Norland going inside. Shot going up and good. Colin Norland now with 13. And now it's going to be a Fairbanks jumper up, no good. 38-25 your score. And pass going over to Scala. Scala over to Aaron Norland. Aaron Norland over to Zach Tice. And over to Carson Bushy. Carson Bushy over to Zach Tice, who gives it back over to Aaron Norland. Aaron Norland fires it over to the outside. That going over to Scala. Scala back out to Zach Tice. 38-25 your lead for the Fosston Greyhounds against Cass Lake-Bena here in Cass Lake in a doubleheader. Pass going inside to Bushy. Shot going up for Tice, up no good. Rebound is going to be a foul. That going on Tice. So that is Tice's second of the game. And so the inbounds pass coming. And that goes in to Staples Fairbanks. Staples Fairbanks gives it over to Caden Lee. Caden Lee passes that one over. Going down on the baseline is Staples Fairbanks. Shot going up, no good. Rebound going to be grabbed there by Graves, up no good. Rebound tipped going over to Staples Fairbanks. Staples Fairbanks back out to the outside over to Caden Lee. Caden Lee, mid-range jumper up, no good. Rebound going to be grabbed there. Grabbed by Bushy. Pass over to Colin Norland. Colin Norland going to the outside. Finding Tice, gives it back over to Scala, over to Aaron Norland, who fires it over to Bushy. Bushy picks it back up, goes back out to Scala, who gives it over to Colin Norland. Norland over to Scala. Scala, that one's going to be taken away. Turnover by the Greyhounds. Going the other way now. Aiden White off the glass and good. Aiden White now with 4, and your lead trimmed down. 38-27 your score. And now it's going to be Zach Tice. Tries to pass it over to Aaron Norland. They're going to say that Aaron Norland went out of bounds. So it's going to be Cass Lake-Bena basketball. So 11:40 left to go in the ball game here in the second half. And now Caden Lee going back with it. Passes that one over to Aiden White. Aiden White inside over to Staples Fairbanks. Staples Fairbanks backing down Aaron Norland. Norland with the defense. Shot going up from Staples Fairbanks. No good. Rebound by Colin Norland. Pass up to Aaron Norland, who gives it over to Carson Bushy. Over to Scala. Darren Scala picks up his dribble, gives it to Aaron Norland in the lane, gives it over to Zach Tice, back out. And they're going to call Zach Tice for the travel. And Ben Hemberger telling the Greyhounds, calm down. It's an 11-point lead, 11-14 left to go in the ball game. That's another turnover for the Greyhounds. Second straight possession with a turnover. Caden Lee, jumper from the free throw line. No good. Rebound going to be grabbed there. Grabbed by Bushy. Carson Bushy gives it over to Cullen Norland. Just under 11 minutes left to go here in the ballgame. Mac Robinson, your play-by-play voice. My producer, Hunter, for the night. Pass going inside. Scala gives it back over to Norland, but miscommunication, and that's going to be an over and back. So that's another turnover for the Greyhounds. 10:40 left to go in the ball game. And again, Cass Lake-Bena coming into tonight 23-1. They're a team that you can't have too many mistakes against, especially when you have a lead like this. Outside jumper, up and good. Bottom of the net for Kingsley Whitebird. He's got 5. 8-point lead now for the Greyhounds. And Aaron Norland trying to push the pace, and the crowd getting back into it now. Greyhounds working the ball into the forward court. Zach Tice back out to the outside to Scala. Darren Scala picks up his dribble, gives it over to Cullen Norland. Cullen Norland back out to the outside, over to Bushy. Bushy over to Scala. Back out to Aaron Norland, over to Bushy. Bushy trying to go baseline, going up against Kingsley Whitebird. Bushy back out to Tice, who gives it over to Aaron Norland. And now Aaron Norland surveying the defense, goes inside to Cullen Norland, back out to Bushy. Bushy from deep, no good. Rebound by Cullen Norland. And they're going to call a foul. And the foul, and it's going to be going against Tate Boswell, the sophomore. That's his first foul of the night. And even more importantly and more impressively, first team foul of the second half. 9:47 left to go in the ball game for Cass Lake-Bena. Greyhounds lead 38-30 on the Lynn Force Insurance Agency and Lakes Community Cooperative scoreboard. Tice with it, passes that one back out to the outside, over to Scala. Scala back out to Norland. Aaron Norland back over to Cullen Norland. Cullen Norland gives that over to Zach Tice. Tice over to Aaron Norland. Norland surveys the defense, passes that one back over to Zach Tice. Tice trying to work his way inside, tried to bounce past that one, gets it over to Scala. Scala shot up, no. Tice able to get the shot up, gets the bucket and the foul. Zach Tice with it. That's going to make it a 10-point lead, trying to make it 11 with the Mustang Seeds free throw. So your lead for the Fosston Greyhounds, 40-30. With the Mustang Seeds free throw on the way. That shot is up, and that shot is no good. So now it's going to be Cass Lake-Bena basketball going the other way. Working their way inside, shot going up, and that is good. Good for Kingsley Whitebird. Excuse me, not Kingsley Whitebird. That actually was Staples Fairbanks, excuse me. The pass going outside. Zach Tice trying to direct traffic, covered by Aiden White. Cullen Norland covered by Caden Lee, and the ball almost got poked away there by Caden Lee. Able to be picking that one up is Scala. Gives that one over to Aaron Norland. Pass over to Tice. Tice trying to find some room here on offense. Good defense from Cass Lake-Bena. Cass Lake-Bena down by 8. Greyhounds holding on to the lead with 8:20 left to go here in the ball game. Passes that one inside to Bushy, gives it back out to Cullen Norland, over to Tice. Tice working his way to the left, goes inside, tried to bounce past that one, and they're going to call foul. See, they call the foul on here. That's going to be going on Aiden White. That is his second of the game. And the inbounds pass. And Josh Graves and Chris Vale checking in. Coming out will be Aiden White as well as Tate Boswell. So this will be Zach Tice inbounding. Tice to inbound, gives that over to Scala. Scala gives that over to Hudson Bushy. Hudson Bushy over to Cullen Norland. Gives that back over to Tice. Tice tries to find an opening. Tice loses the handle. Taken away by Vale. Vale fires down court to Caden Lee. Caden Lee with the lay-in. Good. Caden Lee now with 12. And it's just a 6-point ball game was once a 13-point lead for the Greyhounds has been trimmed down to 6. And that's going to be a timeout taken, a Fosston A&W timeout taken here on KKCQ 96.7 FM as well as on YourLiveEvent.com. We'll be right back with more coming up after this in 1 minute.
Born and raised in Minnesota, and I'm a project director at Enbridge. Enbridge is more than a pipeline company. It's a company participating in renewable energy projects in Minnesota and abroad, and I'm really proud to be working here.
We believe a cleaner energy future is achievable. For over 20 years, we've been early adopters of renewable energy, and we're proudly committed to net zero emissions by 2050. To hear more from Jared, visit enbridge.com/Jared. That's JERRID.
First National Bank Bemidji isn't just a bank. We're believers in a bright future for the community. Our customers are more than names on a screen. They're neighbors, each with their own story. Every day, we help them reach their dreams, confident that what's good for the community is good for us. We always remember where we're from and who we're here for, because at First National Bank Bemidji, we're better together.
Welcome back. Highly contested, high-action basketball right here on YourLiveEvent.com and on KKCQ 96.7 FM. Fosston Greyhounds holding on to a 6-point lead. 7 minutes, 44 seconds left to go after the Fosston A&W timeout taken. Inbounds pass goes over to Zach Tice. Tice passes that one over to Cohen Norland. Gives it over to Darren Scala. Darren Scala passes that back over to Cohen Norland. Back out to Hudson Bushy. Hudson Bushy trying to go up with a layup, up and good. The junior off the bench able to get that and increases the lead up to 8 on the Lakes Community Cooperative and Lynn Forest Insurance Agency scoreboard. Caden Lee working his way inside. Spin move, layup, up, good. Caden Lee with the answer. 6-point lead, 42-36, 7-10 left to go in the ball game. Zach Tice trying to get a hesitation move going, covered by Vale. Pass that one back over to Cohen Norland. Cohen Norland covered by Caden Lee. Gives it over to Hudson Bushy. Hudson Bushy covered by Kingsley Whitebird. Picks up his dribble, gives that back over to Cohen Norland. Cohen Norland surveying the defense, gives that one over to Carson Bushy, excuse me. Carson Bushy gives that back over to Scala. Scala works his way inside. That one poked away, and that's a key foul. That foul going against Caden Lee. That is his 4th. One more foul, and his night is done. Caden Lee with 14 points here tonight. 6:42 left to go in the ball game. And the inbounds pass coming from Zach Tice, and that's going to be a kickball. So it will stay with the Greyhounds. They shift over a little bit to the left, and Greyhounds will continue to keep it. The inbounds pass coming from Tice. Inbounds goes over to Scala. Scala, and they're going to call a jump ball. Jump ball, so it will stay with the Greyhounds. Chris Vale fighting for that one. And the inbounds pass coming. This will come from Carson Bushy. Carson Bushy inbounds over to Scala. Scala fires that one over to Aaron Norland. Aaron Norland passes that one over to Zach Tice. Zach Tice trying to survey the defense, picks up his dribble, passes in to Aaron Norland. Aaron Norland back out to Zach Tice. Thought about the triple. Tice starts to dribble, starts to work his way towards center court, passes that one over to Hudson Bushy. Hudson Bushy fires that back over to Carson Bushy, back over to Zach Tice going baseline, and Tice is going to get called for a travel. Going the other way now, 6:10 left to go in the ball game. And the Greyhounds holding on to a 42-36 lead on the Lynn Forest Insurance Agency and the Lakes Community Cooperative scoreboard. Pass going to the outside. Deep triple from Caden Lee. Got it! I think he shot that one from Bemidji. Nailed that one. He's got 17. Bushy. Carson Bushy passes that one down, and that one knocked out of bounds. So it will stay with Fosston. Cohen Norland coming in for Hudson Bushy. Now it's the starting unit for the Fosston Greyhounds. Inbounds pass to Scala, back to Tice. Tice off the glass, no. Rebounded, grabbed by Norland. Deep triple from Scala, up no good, rebound by Tice. Tice fighting for that one, gives that back out over to Bushy. Scala over to Cohen Norland. Cohen Norland fires that one over to Tice. Tice back out to Norland on the outside. Aaron Norland passes that one back out to Bushy. Back out to Tice, over to Scala. Good ball movement here from the Greyhounds. Aaron Norland beyond the arc. Passes it over to Tice. Over to Cohen Norland, trying to go baseline with it. Pass out to Bushy. Bushy back out to Scala. Scala trying to pass that one around. Scala able to get through the double team. Gives it over to Aaron Norland. Back over to Zach Tice. Tice over to Cohen Norland. Cohen Norland trying to create a little bit of space. And Norland gives that over to Bushy. Bushy trying to go on the sideline here. Goes inside, gives it over to Tice. Tice pump fake. Shot up, no good. Rebound. Going to be grabbed by the Greyhounds. They're going to call a jump ball. They're going to call a jump ball. These refs have been letting them play here in the second half. There's been a lot of physicality between these two teams, and especially in this kind of an environment, shocking to nobody. The inbounds pass from Whitebird goes over to Staples Fairbanks. Fairbanks over to Graves. Graves beyond the arc, triple to tie it, no good. Rebound, Aaron Norland. Aaron Norland now covered by Vale, passes up court to Bushy. Carson Bushy dribbles, gives that one over to Tice. Tice over to Scala. Scala covered by Graves, gives that over to Cohen Norland. Cohen Norland picks up the dribble, gives that over to Aaron Norland. There's going to be a timeout taken. Fosston A&W timeout taken by the Greyhounds. 4:21 left to go in the Lynn Force Insurance Agency Lakes Community Cooperative scoreboard. 42-39. Greyhounds holding on to a 3-point lead. We'll take a timeout. We'll be right back here in 30 seconds on YourLiveEvent.com and KKCQ 96.7 FM.
Welcome to Lakes Community Co-op. A new name, familiar faces, continued services, and customer service from your co-op in your community. Lakes Community Co-op. As we move forward, you can depend on us for fuel, propane, animal feed, meat locker plant, milk purchasing and hauling, pet food, hardware, convenience stores, tires, vehicle service, natural gas, and more of our services we provide from Lakes Community Co-op.
And we're back here as this is the high action, the high octane action that you want to see from high school basketball. The scoreboard might not reflect it, but this has been a highly contested contest between these two teams. Zach Tice back out to Aaron Norland. 42-39 your score, 4:10 and counting. Aaron Norland jumper from the free throw line, good. Aaron Norland now with 10. And that's Staples Fairbanks bring the ball across half court into the forward court, pass over to Caden Lee. Caden Lee, deep triple, no good. Rebound, gonna go out of bounds off of Scala. So it will stay with Cass Lake-Bena. Just under 4 minutes left to go. Lynn Force Insurance Agency and Lakes Community Cooperative scoreboard. The inbounds pass coming from Caden Lee. Caden Lee surveying the offense, trying to find a teammate and does in Staples Fairbanks. Pass that one over to Kingsley Whitebird. Whitebird back over to Staples Fairbanks, trying to create a little bit of space for himself. Spin move, layup up for Caden Lee, and draws the foul. It's going to be a foul against Zach Tice. That's going to be Tice's third. Caden Lee with 17. Got the Mustang Seeds free throws on the way. First free throw is up and good. He's got 18. Second one on the way. That one is up, and that is also good. So a 2-point ball game, or a 3-point ball game, excuse me. 44-41 your score. Passing that one over to the outside, over to Zach Tice. Tice back over to Bushy. Back out to Norland. Norland working his way inside. Norland passing that one back, taken away. Staples Fairbanks going back the other way. Now shot going up, no good. Caden Lee with a tip in. Caden Lee with 21. It's a 1-point ball game. Aaron Norland fires down to Scala. Scala now picking up the pace a little bit, slowing it down. Gives it back over to Zach Tice. What was once a 13-point lead has been trimmed down to 1. Now make it 3. Aaron Norland with 12 here tonight. Staples Fairbanks passes over to Caden Lee. Caden Lee trying to create a little bit of space, gives it back over to Whitebird. Whitebird gives it back over to Caden Lee, trying to go baseline with it. Covered by Cohen Norland. Shot going up, blocked. That one shot up, no good. Second chance opportunity, up and good. Caden Lee with 23. 1 point ball game, 46-45. Cohen Norland covered by Vale. Trying to get the ball into the forward court, and does. Ball poked away, given back by Scala over to Norland. Almost poked away. Tice back out to the outside. Bushy for three, no good. Rebound by Whitebird, but the foul. The foul, that's going to go against Graves. Josh Graves, that's his first foul of the night. That's the 5th team foul of the evening, or in the second half here. And the inbounds pass coming from Tice. And that one going to the outside. That one taken away by Whitebird. Whitebird now in transition. Layup up and good. Kingsley Whitebird has 7. And that's going to be a timeout taken, a Fosston A&W timeout taken. This crowd is electric as the lead has been taken by the Cass Lake-Bena Panthers. We'll take it with them. 30-second timeout right here on KKCQ 96.7 FM and YourLiveEvent.com.
From shoulder to hand, hips to toes, and everything in between, the Riverview Health Orthopedic Team has you covered. With advanced training and joint replacements, upper and lower extremity, spine, foot, and ankle care, you know you'll be in good hands with Drs. Spinell, Schall, Sekundiak, Stanky, Kim, and Abasi. For appointments, call Riverview Clinic at 218-281-9595.
Riverview Health, exceptional people, exceptional care. Riverview Health.
And welcome back into Cass Lake as these fans have erupted. It's a 47-46 lead for the Cass Lake-Bena Panthers. As the Panthers now have taken the lead. They were down by as much as 13 in this one. And they now lead over the Fosston Greyhounds. And Cohen Norland working his way over half court, goes inside to Scala. Scala trying to give that one back over to Bushy. Bushy passes that one back out to Tice, gives it over to Aaron Norland. Cohen Norland thought about it, passes it back out to Bushy. Bushy back over, that one almost taken away by Caden Lee. Scala from deep, no good. Rebound by Staples Fairbanks. 2 minutes left to go in this one. Pass up court, going over to Whitebird. Whitebird back out to the outside. As that one goes over to Staples Fairbanks. Back out to Vale. Vale trying to go inside. Gives it over to Graves. Graves back out. That going to Staples Fairbanks. Back out to Graves. Graves into Staples Fairbanks. And that's going to be a Fosston A&W timeout taken. We'll be back here in 1 minute. Again, 47-46 your score. Cass Lake-Bena with the lead on the Lindfors Insurance Agency and Lakes Community Cooperative scoreboard. We'll be back in 1 minute.
Real. Get ready for a place that's big enough to grow and small enough to care. The University of Minnesota Crookston offers more than 35 majors, minors, and certificates. Earn a University of Minnesota degree, where you can make a difference in a close-knit community. Faculty become friends and friends feel like family. You don't need a big city, just big dreams. The University of Minnesota Crookston. Real, hands-on, and will get you ready for anything.
Stay up to date with the latest goings-on in the region with the Coaches Show every Wednesday night on YourLiveEvent.com.
Goes deep down the middle, has a man, Soka Porter! Soka Porter to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, and taken down there.
We'll dive into the latest stories from North Dakota and Minnesota.
And there's the block by Reese.
That's the Coaches Show with me, Joe Lancello, on YourLiveEvent.com every Wednesday night starting at 7.
And welcome back. 1:33 left in this one. One of the best matches, one of the best games of the year at this point, I would say. 47-46 your score. 1:33 left to go. Inbounds as Cass Lake-Bena with the lead. Caden Lee with it. And Caden Lee trying to go in the lane. They're going to call a foul. Going to call a foul there on Cohen Norland. That's his second foul of the game. And the inbounds pass coming. Caden Lee will inbound. That goes into Whitebird. And that's going to be a quick foul. Had a foul to give. So Carson Bushy That's going to be his first of the game. 1 point lead, minute 22 left to go on the Lindfors Insurance Agency and Lakes Community Cooperative scoreboard. And so the inbounds pass will once again come from Caden Lee. Caden Lee will likely throw this into the backcourt and does over to Staples Fairbanks, and the foul is going to go against Aaron Norland. That's his second. So another foul to give once again to for the Greyhounds as the inbounds pass going to come. Likely going in, that one finding Josh Graves. Josh Graves with it. He's going to be fouled by Aaron Norland. And now in the 1-and-1. Minute 17 left to go in the ball game. So it'll be Josh Graves at the stripe, shooting the Mustang Seeds free throw. So now Fosston trying to get possession back. Again, the Fosston Greyhounds held a 13-point lead at one point here. Mustang Seeds free throw is up and no good. Whitebird able to get the rebound. Caden Lee going up with it. No good. And now going back the other way, Lake-Bena wanted a foul. Pass going on the outside over to Tice. Tice over to Bushy. Bushy giving that one over to Cohen Norland. Norland going down the lane. Shot up and good. Cohen Norland with 15. And the Fosston Greyhounds have taken the lead. Less than a minute to go. Caden Lee working his way inside. Shot going up. Offensive foul, and that's going to be the night for Caden Lee. Caden Lee is fouled out. And the Fosston Greyhounds have taken a 48-47 lead. 47 seconds left to go on the Lakes Community Cooperative and Lindfors Insurance Agency scoreboard. This has been an absolute spectacle here tonight, folks. So now the inbounds pass on the way as Trayvon Lee came in for Caden Lee. And so the inbounds pass coming from Bushy. Bushy going to inbound this one. Gives that in to Aaron Norland. Aaron Norland passes up court over to Zach Tice. Tice going to pick up his dribble, go down court, and he's going to be fouled. 41 seconds left to go in the ball game. So Zach Tice will get 1-and-1 now in the bonus. So he will step up. He'll have the Mustang Seeds free throw. The Mustang Seeds free throw is up. No good. Rebound by Graves. 1 point ball game. 40 seconds left to go. Now as Staples Fairbanks pass to the outside. Kingsley Whitebird for three. Up no good. Rebound by Tice. And he's going to be fouled. 30 seconds left to go. 1 point lead. Zach Tice will shoot more Mustang Seeds free throws. This has been an absolute classic. And Zach Tice shooting 1-and-1 with the Mustang Seeds free throw. The crowd is into it. First one is good. Zach Tice now with 8. It's a 2 point lead, 49-47. 30.9 seconds left to go here in the ball game. Lindfors Insurance Agency and Lakes Community Cooperative scoreboard. And the free throw is up. That's good. Makes it a 3 point game. Zach Tice now with 9. And now Staples Fairbanks brings the ball into the forward court. 3 point lead. Shot going up. No good. Rebound by Tice. Tice gives it over to Aaron Norland. Norland going to grab that one, and he's going to be fouled. 20 seconds left to go. More Mustang Seeds free throws on the way for the Fosston Greyhounds. Coming into tonight, the Lake-Bena Panthers were 23-1. And as of right now, they could potentially be looking at their second loss of the season. They won 12 straight coming into tonight. Aaron Norland will shoot the Mustang Seeds free throw. It's 1-and-1. 20 seconds left to go. And the first free throw is up and good. Aaron Norland makes it a 4 point ball game. The second Mustang Seeds free throw on the way. From Aaron Norland, the senior guard. Shot is up. Shot is good. The Fosston Greyhounds have a 5 point lead. 18 seconds left to go. Cass Lake-Bena trying to drain the triple, and they don't. The rebound going to end up bouncing up, going to be tipped and grabbed there by Cohen Norland. Cohen Norland will grab this one, 8.4 seconds left. The Greyhound fans can feel the excitement as more Mustang Seeds free throws are coming with a 5-point lead, 8.4 seconds left to go. And the foul on Trayvon Lee. And now the 1-and-1. Or I guess 2 free throws now. First one is up and good. Cohen Norland makes it a 6-point lead for the Fosston Greyhounds. Was once a 13-point lead. The Panthers took the lead back. Second Mustang Seeds free throw is good. Cohen Norland has 17. The inbounds pass going up court to Whitebird. That's going to go out of bounds. 8.4 seconds left, Fosston Greyhound basketball. And again, make sure you stick around as it's going to be game 1 of 2 of a doubleheader. Girls basketball game to follow. Although if this was a musical act, I would not want to follow this one up. And the inbounds pass coming. Going baseline goes over to Aaron Norland. Aaron Norland gives that one, and that's going to do it. The Fosston Greyhounds have upset the Cass Lake-Bena Panthers in Cass Lake. Your final, the Fosston Greyhounds 54, Cass Lake-Bena Panthers 47. The Cass Lake-Bena Panthers have fallen to 23-2 on the season. The Fosston Greyhounds improved to 20-4. We'll have your post game coming up here in just a bit. We're going to take a 2-minute timeout here on yourliveevent.com and on KKCQ 96.7 FM. We'll have your post-game awards, post-game statistics, potentially in an interview, and get you all set to go and wrap this one up before we get into Game 2 between the Cass Lake-Bena Panthers and the Fosston Greyhounds. We'll take a 2-minute timeout right here on KKCQ as well as, or 96.7 FM KKCQ, as well as on yourliveevent.com. 2 minutes. Be right back.
Have you seen the huge selection of used vehicles that Christian Motors of Fertile has? Stop by the lot, talk with one of the guys about the huge selection of cars, trucks, SUVs, vans, and so much more. They've got a great selection of used vehicles right now. You can view them at christianmotors.com or christiancarsonline.com. One of the biggest selection of used vehicles around, it's Christian Motors. They're proud to be your Chevy and GMC dealer, Highway 32 North in Fertile.
This is Chris from RDK Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. We are less than 90 days until spring planting. 90 days. Are you ready? Is your maintenance plan in place? Do you have parts on hand? Are any upgrade options decided on and purchased? We can help. Spring will be here before you know it, and we will help you meet the challenge. Contact RDK Enterprises at planterdoc.com. That's planterdoc.com.
My name is Jared, born and raised in Minnesota, and I'm a project director at Enbridge. Enbridge is more than a pipeline company. It's a company participating in renewable energy projects in Minnesota and abroad, and I'm really proud to be working here.
We believe a cleaner energy future is achievable. For over 20 years, we've been early adopters of renewable energy, and we're proudly committed to net zero emissions by 2050. To hear more from Jared, visit enbridge.com/Jared. That's JERRID.
First National Bank Bemidji isn't just a bank. We're believers in a bright future for the community. Our customers are more than names on a screen. They're neighbors, each with their own story. Every day, we help them reach their dreams, confident that what's good for the community is good for us. We always remember where we're from and who we're here for, because at First National Bank Bemidji, we're better together.
And welcome back into Cass Lake-Bena as the girls are warming up here, but we still got to do our post-game report. So let's go ahead and run through this one, get you all set up, and get your put a bow on Game 1 and get you set for Game 2. You're coming up in just a bit. So Fosston Greyhounds coming away with a win, 54-47 over the Cass Lake-Bena Panthers here this evening in Cass Lake. And let's go ahead and go through your statistics brought to you by Christian Motors. And starting with the Fosston Greyhounds, Cohen Norland leading the way with 17 points here tonight for the Fosston Greyhounds. Behind him was Aaron Norland, his brother, with 14. Also, 2 Greyhounds with 9 points apiece. Carson Bushy with 9, as well as Zach Tice. Also adding in a couple of buckets. Hudson Bushy with 2 and Darren Scala with 2. On the other side, Caden Lee, the junior, he fouled out of this one. He finished with 23. He led the way for the Panthers. And behind him was Kingsley Whitebird with 7, as well as Dominic Staples Fairbanks. He had 7 as well. 4 points for Aiden White, as well as 4 points for Christopher Vale off the bench. And 2 points for Tate Boswell off a couple of Mustang Seeds free throws. Now let's get into our post-game awards here as well. Sub of the game brought to you by JT Station in Fertile. That's going to go to Chris Vale of the Cass Lake-Bena Panthers. He had 4 points. Played pretty hard on defense. So he's going to be your sub of the game, brought to you by JT Station in Fertile. Locally owned and operated, JT Station in Fertile, where fuel meets flavor and community meets convenience. Fueling the hearts of Fertile, one tank at a time. And now let's get into our stars of the game, brought to you by Fosston Chiropractic. And the stars of the game, I'm going to give one to Aaron Norland. He finished with 14. Had plenty of assists, plenty of passes going around as well. So he is one of your Fosston Chiropractic stars of the game. Other one going to be going to Caden Lee. He finished with 23. Again, fouled out with just over a minute left to go in the ball game. And so Caden Lee finished with 23. He's another one of your Fosston Chiropractic stars of the game. Now, let's go ahead and get into our RDK Enterprises Precision Player of the Game. I'm going to give that one over to Zach Tice. Zach Tice doing a good job helping break a lot of those presses, getting through and able to move the ball up court. He finished with 9 points, including a couple of Mustang Seeds free throws to ice the game, get it up to 3 points, and really extend that lead for the Fosston Greyhounds. So he is your RDK Enterprises Precision Player of the Game. And now, time to go ahead and get into your Enbridge Energy Player of the Game. And that is going to be Cohen Norland. Cohen Norland, he finished with 17 points here this evening, including some key Mustang Seeds free throws to close the game out. He finished with 17. He is your Enbridge Energy Player of the Game. And so, those are your post-game awards. Again, your final between the Fosston Greyhounds boys and the Cass Lake-Bena boys. That is 54-47. Your final on the Lynn Forest Insurance Agency and Lakes Community Cooperative scoreboard. That's going to do it for Game 1. Make sure you stick around on KKCQ 96.7 FM, as well as on YourLiveEvent.com. We'll have Game 2 between the girls of Fosston, as well the Fosston Greyhounds, as well as the ladies of Cass Lake-Bena, the Panthers, coming up next right here on KKCQ and YourLiveEvent.com. Stay with us.